Cult of Chucky. I love the Child's Play franchise. Besides a few of them that I don't love, I think they're really shitty in some ways. Some of them are shitty. But when you come across some of the good ones, then they're pretty fun. For me, Cult of Chucky is fun. I didn't take it seriously at all. I mean, it's about a killer doll. What can you take really seriously about the movie? And that's really nothing. But these movies they're mostly for the horror fans. This movie especially is for the fans. It wasn't released in theaters. It was just straight to DVD. But that gave them the privileges to do more with this movie, and I can appreciate that. I loved Curse of Chucky. Is this as good as Curse of Chucky? No, it's not as good in my opinion. I think it's fun, but it's not as good in my opinion. The first Child's Play is always my favorite, but in this movie particularly, we come across the survivor of Curse of Chucky in this movie, played by Brad Dourif's daughter, who is now in a mental institution. And not really mental institution, psycho house, whatever you want to call it.
Real.
Chucky never was.
That's right. He was a fantasy.
She's stuck in one of these places with a whole bunch of different people, and what do you know? Guess who finds their way to come back? Yeah, Chucky. Chucky finds his way to come back. And but this is a little bit different. This movie takes a lot of risks, and I can appreciate the risks, but at the same time, I did not really care for them. I'm one of those guys. I didn't really care for what this movie was trying to overall do. It wanted to do something different, which I can appreciate that to the fullest. I mean, definitely. I'm a fan of the franchise, so I appreciated that they tried to do something different. And just for me, though, that personally, it just didn't work that well. But that doesn't take away from the movie, in my opinion, of how much fun you can have with it. If you're a fan, I think fans, it's 50-50. I think fans are either going to hate what they try to do with this movie, or they're going to love it. And I was in the middle. I was really in the middle, and I hope, there's some of those people out there who are going to be in the middle, and, it's fine if you hate it or love it, but I was in the middle. I found it to be different, and but it was a different... It's hard to explain how I really felt about the things they try to do in this movie, but the kills are great. The gore, the effects are great. The cinematography is actually pretty good for what it was. Overall, I didn't have a problem with the cinematography or anything. The directing, it's a typical horror movie, but there's something about something like this movie, that stands out from other slasher movies today, and that's besides the fact that it's one of the more iconic killers, inside of it, on the side of the movie. It's it's other than that, it does a lot of things that I miss about slasher movies, which I appreciated that came from this movie. It's an overall fun ride. If you wanted to go and watch it, I actually highly suggest it. If you're a fan of the Child's Play movies, I actually totally suggest it. But as I said, there's going to be some things in this movie that are just... It's going to work or it's not going to work for you, or you're going to probably be in the middle, like I am, and just find it to be, you appreciate the different, that they try to do something different, at the same time as, I wish they didn't really do that, but that's just me. I didn't really want to talk about the plot too much. It is about the girl who survived the last movie coming back and being in the psych ward, and Chucky showing up, and he has a plot, a plan. It's not really, no spoilers, obviously, but... his plan is very interesting. Jennifer Tilly shows up a few times, which is really fun. And I did not know this kid was coming back for this movie. I might have heard something about it, but I didn't know if it was actually legit. But the guy who played Andy Barkley in the original Child's Play movies, 1 and 2, is actually back for this movie. And he has, it's not that big of a, it's an interesting story arc for him, but he's not really that big in it. He's in the movie for maybe 15, 20 minutes tops. He's not in it for that long. He just shows up every once in a while. He has a very interesting opening scene, though. I thought the opening scene was very interesting. And it's including, something between him and Chucky, and, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's very, very interesting. I thought it was a different way to take the character, which I appreciated that. I didn't want him to be, in the psych ward with her, and them having to, go through, a way to find a way to kill Chucky. This guy, is kind of... He has his own Ridley from, Sarah Connor, badass, main, at Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead kind of thing going on, and I appreciated that. That was awesome. But, yeah, guys, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It was fun. It wasn't, great or nothing, but I get it suggested for some of you guys out there. I would give it, and I'm doing a different grading scale now. I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go out of 10. Okay, out of 10 is pretty fair. I like out of 10. I would give Cult of Chucky a 6.75 out of 10. You know, it's a pretty decently fun time. You know, if you wanted to enjoy something for this October month, it's actually really fun. I highly suggest it. So guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on, you know, if you've seen the movie. I hope you have. I want to hear your guys' opinion on it, obviously. Let me know down below what you guys thought of it. What would you grade it? And how would you grade the Child's Play Chucky movies all through least to greatest? Do least to greatest. Yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. It's always fun.
A true classic never goes out of style.